If anyone's out there and they have a business and they're working at trying to grow it and they're struggling, just keep going. Just stay focused, keep going, and never give up.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good afternoon, Michael Pasha. Previously, episode 67, and then you returned for episode 608. It's been just about 3 years, 7 days, 16 hours since that first conversation, and only 2 years, 9 months, 12 days, 17 hours, and 45 minutes since our last conversation. You were my first podcast guest. That was a repeat conversation. Michael Pasha, such a great pleasure. What's up in your world?
Well, some things have changed since the last conversation that we had a few years ago. Back then, I was doing a lot of affiliate marketing and just using my skills and things that I had learned in paid advertisements to help other internet marketers kind of grow their companies. But then I've kind of shifted gears and I founded a digital marketing company that now focuses on helping small business owners and medical practices grow. And that company is called Ocean View Digital. So I'm the founder and creative director there, and that has been my focus for the past about year and a half. So switching gears has been interesting, but it's been very rewarding. So glad to be on here and talk to you about some of those changes.
That's great. So, Internet Ballers, is that completely off or is it still available if someone goes there?
Yeah. Internet Ballers is still out there. I haven't done any new episodes because so after I did episode 100, I got to a point where I said I want to take a pause and kind of figure out like what I want to do going forward. And what I realized I wanted to do was kind of shift gears away from lead generation and advertisements for internet marketing and affiliate marketing and direct it more towards helping small business owners. And really kind of one of the things that started that was my sister. She's an orthodontist, and I noticed her and a lot of her friends were struggling to get new patients into their practices. And so I said, "Hey, I know a lot about lead generation and getting new customers and that sort of thing." So I started leveraging those skills to help people in that space, and that's what I've been doing since then.
That's wonderful. So, the things that you're doing can be counted as working. That's very important, isn't it? Like, people are seeing people walk in the doors of their businesses, their brick and mortars, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a great thing because a lot of these people, it's like, especially in the medical space, and even, I think a lot of small business owners too, like a lot of them have the know-how of the craft of the services they offer, but they don't necessarily always get that business training. And so for me, it's like, I've been to business school, I've worked for a number of companies, I've done internet marketing, and because I kind of understand how these things work, I'm able to leverage a lot of my experience and things that I've learned to help them grow and really see the revenue levels that they're hoping to get and expecting to have from the work that they've put in but haven't been able to realize yet.
That's wonderful. What's the website again that we can go to find out more about that?
Yeah, the website is oceanviewdigital.com. And basically, there I have a video on there that kind of walks through the process of what I do with my clients, some information about the services I provide. And yeah, if anyone's interested in reaching out, there's also a link in there to schedule a discovery call where we can kind of sit down and talk about their business and figure out whether working together is a good fit.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm glad to hear what's going on. Now, when we spoke, you were expecting on the last conversation. What's going on there?
Yeah, so right now I have two sons. The oldest
What?
one, yeah. So it's been a while, right? The oldest one, he's 2.5 now. The youngest one is 7 months. And so yeah, so that's been a wild ride. It's been great, seeing them grow up and in a way kind of like almost reliving my childhood through them, like seeing the struggles that they go through and thinking like, yeah, I probably did that too.
I
Like,
love it. Love it.
so it's interesting.
Are you still married?
I am, yeah. Still married, living in Walnut Creek. So we moved up to Northern California because we were in San Diego before.
Right.
And yeah, so now we're up in Northern California in Walnut Creek. And yeah, it's a good opportunity. I'm going to be, my wife and I have been trying to figure out how to get some sort of vacation time in. So we're looking at like where in the Caribbean can we go? And I was thinking, man, I got to go visit Angel
Here we
and
go.
go hang out
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah, sounds great.
But we actually ended up settling on the Bahamas just because
You've
it
been
was
there
the
before.
closest.
Yeah, but you've been
I
there.
have been there before, but it was the closest flight. We were like, man, we need like easy, like something super
Yeah, I would
easy to
think
get
so.
to.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna fly back to the East Coast because that's where all our family is. Have the family watch the kids, and then fly to the Bahamas and spend a week there.
Yeah, it's practical. What will be intriguing as well is when you get there, you're going to be like, ah, we're missing the children.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
But I
always
think
fun.
it's like since they came, we haven't had a break or had a chance to like have some like couples time. So it'll be good to get that in a little bit. So
Yeah, that's great. One of the loves you have is helping people, and I'm glad to see how that has transitioned from the podcast perspective into lead generation for others. You're helping others with lead generation, which is really great because you've tested and tasted what it looks like and what's necessary to get it working. How has what you've been doing affected your marriage, your wife? Like, how has she been affected by everything you're doing?
I don't know that she has been because I think for me, like I've tried to be very diligent about like not as much as I can, like allowing like my business and personal endeavors to impact like our family life and schedule. So
Mm,
usually what I've found is the easiest thing to do is like I just do a lot of my work like late at night and early in the morning when her and the kids are asleep. So then that way I'm still available during the day,
yeah.
to help and to help out with the kids and, spend time with her. And then I have like complete like quiet time. So, for example, like I got up at 4 o'clock this morning and I work, on the business stuff from there before anyone else wakes up because I know I get like complete solitude and no interruptions.
Yeah, as well as you're on West Coast time, right? So that
Yeah,
always works out well to your advantage, right?
it
Especially if you're
does. It
working with
does.
other people in the world, that they get up and you've completed the tasks that they needed done, which is fun experience. I'm glad, my friend, that you are continuing in your passion. Again, that brings great joy to hear. I'm so amazed that you had two children in the space of that time, which means momentum is a real factor. There's a conversation I've been opening up on the podcast, which is the conversation of death. Have you had the conversation that I believe is necessary in life of I am going to die?
Do you mean have I had that with the kids or
Oh well, with
with
yourself. Yeah, the
myself?
kids are too
Oh
young. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I was like I
don't
can't
tell
tell them
them
that.
about that yet.
I can't tell them that now. Yeah, I mean I've had the conversation with myself. I think I've had the conversation with myself for a long period of time, and I think for me, and I'll probably butcher it right now, one of my favorite quotes is actually that Steve Jobs quote where he said that something like I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like the greatest way I know not to fall into the trap of thinking you have something to lose is realizing that you're going to die. But the first time I
Mm,
heard him say that, it really stuck with me because I thought about how in life you get so caught up in like being afraid of certain things or not wanting to take certain chances or thinking a lot of times also that we have more time than we actually do. And you really don't know like how much time you have. I think about the
mm,
best case scenario, maybe you live to be like 90 or 100, but even that's not a lot of time. But then that's still the best case scenario because you could die significantly earlier than expected, and that's happened to a number of people that I grew up with that are no longer here now because of different things. I mean, I found out one of my friends from high school that I hadn't spoken to in a really long time that he died from cancer recently.
mm,
And so it's just, things like that. You're thinking like, okay, well now I'm living another day and that person, that's just one more day that person will never ever see.
mm.
So it's just like realizing the gift and also realizing how fragile it is.
You spoke about preparation and luck, and when you said it, it felt as though it was something that resounded because I think the concept that people do not embrace is that luck is a part of the parcel. How are you applying that to life currently? Preparation and luck.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm definitely a big believer in the fact that, luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. So you can create your own luck by just being prepared for more opportunities. I think opportunities come, people's way all the time, but they're not prepared to take advantage of it. So they can't like have that alignment that appears to be luck,
Mm,
right? But I definitely am like, but I guess when I hear people talk about like, I hear this a lot where it's like, are people successful because of luck, or are people successful because of the hard work? And the reality is it's both for everyone, right? There's no one who became successful without any lucky breaks. I mean, I don't care who you are. But then also there's no one who became successful because of dumb luck. They weren't just sitting around on their sofa and then a whole lot of great opportunities just fell in their lap. It's a combination of both. So you have to have that in order to find success. So it's not one or the other. It's both, and they're both essential. Now maybe some people have a stronger amount of luck versus, sheer determination or hard work than others. Could be the case, but you need both.
Love it. And my friend, again, it's such a great pleasure to hear that you are continuing in what you're doing. It's like I am the podcast accountability partner. Yeah, jumped in to say, Michael, are you doing what you said you would be doing? And I do appreciate it. It's both motivating and inspiring. So thank you for that. In closing, my friend, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would just say in closing, if anyone's out there and they have a business and they're working at, trying to grow it and they're struggling, just keep going. Like, don't stop and just stay focused. And eventually you'll get over whatever hurdle. Just stay focused, keep going, and never give up.
There we go. A pleasure. I treasure Michael Pasha. Again, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-minute convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.